What's good, folks? It's Nightmare Frame here with a new Warframe video, coming at you with the undying, evasive Helminth Khora. Now, this Khora build is all about being untouchable, to a certain extent. You can go into long endurance runs, or any mission really, and enemies will have a hard time hitting you, cause either their guns are jammed, they're caught in a dome, or a better option, they're dead. This is the Shooting Gallery Khora. Shooting Gallery is Mesa's second ability. It's what you get when you subsume Mesa. Now let's go over how this ability works and how it's one of Mesa's best abilities. You gain this lasso aura that lashes out to enemies and jams their weapons, and melee enemies get stunned every 1.5 seconds. This ability also grants additive weapon damage, but that's not what I care about. For those who don't know how Khora works, she is one of the best DPS frames in the game, where her damage even scales past the level cap if modded right. Her main damaging ability is Whip Claw. This is a melee pseudo-exalted weapon. This ability has base stats of 25% crit chance, 20% status chance, and 2 times crit multiplier, and it deals an even distribution of impact, puncture, and slash. And its damage scales from Warframe and melee equipped mods, so that means it needs a stat stick. Now, please pay attention. A stat stick is a melee weapon not used as a traditional weapon, but as a vessel that uses the equipped mods to boost the damage output of the Warframe's melee ability. That means the melee doesn't matter, just the mods. So all the stats you see on the melee do not matter, just the mods. You're basically modding Whip Claw, not the melee. Hope you get that. And the only time where the melee will matter is if you're trying to go for a Riven, because the Riven disposition will determine how high the attributes of the Riven will be, which will in turn increase your damage. And she has an augment called Accumulating Whip Claw that stacks 35% raw damage with each 3 enemies hits. This caps out at 350% at max stacks, so this allows you to forego running power strength on her, because modding for power is like adding raw damage mods, and this will affect her utility. And when adding power strength, steel charge as the aura, a stat stick with so much raw damage, arcane fury, and also the augments, all of that will give you diminishing returns. Basically, too much of one thing will lead you to have little to no increase in damage output, so that's why you balance things out. Let's take a look at how I've modded Khora. I have brief respite in the aura for the energy spent to shields conversion. This helps me with shield gating and a way to abuse it. Preparation in the Exilus. This grants you 100% of your energy on every mission you enter, and you combine this with primed flow and you're solid. Very useful when playing in Steel Path. Max efficiency with the use of a rank floor fleeting and streamline. Primed continuity to counteract the negative duration, and also helpful when using all of her duration based abilities. So with 105% duration, I get 21 seconds on the dome, 31.5 seconds on Shooting Gallery, and 15.75 seconds on Ensnare. Range at 235% with the use of overextended and stretch. This gives Shooting Gallery 37.6 meters, 23.5 meter grab radius on Ensnare, 11.75 meters dome radius, and a 23.5 grab radius. And finally, gives my Whip Claw 23.5 meters of reach, and the explosion radius is capped at 10 meters with 200% range. Rolling guard for the status cleansing, and 3 seconds of invulnerability after a dodge roll. Helpful when you want to reposition yourself and also rebuild your shields. And finally, the Accumulating Whip Claw augment. In the Arcanes department, I run Energize for the energy regen, and the second slot can be any arcane. And Fury is helpful if you're running without a Riven or want to build up on the bleeds. And I'm also running a Decaying Dragon Key to reduce my shield capacity, so they fully regen after an ability cast, and I can get the full benefits of shield gating. Now, what shield gating is that it grants you 1.33 seconds of invulnerability when your shields break, and 0.33 seconds as they are replenishing. So you can only get the full 1.33 seconds of invulnerability if you fully regen your shields. And when using brief respite and an auger mod on your secondary, you can get all your shields back and also gain over shields. let's get to how you would mod your stat stick. Again, the melee weapon doesn't matter, only the mods. We're in a simulacrum, let's pick a weapon, put mods in it, and see the results. We mod it with the go-to damage, crits, and elements. Melee attack speed, range, and faction mods do not affect the whip claw. So if you're going for a Riven, those are nice free negatives. Just to mix it up, let's take another weapon and do a different build for a bleed setup. Here I add slash mods like Buzzkill and Jagged Edge, so Whipclaw will prioritize slash as the main damage type so we can bleed enemies. This setup scales even better, especially if you're doing long endurance runs or farming Steel Essence. Bleed is the result of slash. The damage type and status effect are two different things. To have great status chance, you need to run Weeping Wounds on your stat stick. And that's basically it in the stat stick department. I will showcase my stat stick builds as I have a Riven for my stat stick, giving me crit chance, crit damage, and melee damage with a negative. If you're buying or rolling a Riven, always go for a negative, as they greatly increase your positives. When getting a Riven for Khora, you want damage, crit damage, toxin with a negative, or crit chance, crit damage, damage with a negative. The perfect negatives for a Khora stat sticks are any negative faction, negative impact and puncture, attack speed, range, combo efficiency, crit chance on slide, and finisher damage. Avoid, for the love of God, avoid negative combo duration, chance to gain combo, status chance, also negative slash. Alright, let's take a look at the utility weapons I use with Khora. We have the Miter. This is so helpful if you're going to Corpus missions or the Void, the best weapon to pop nullifier bubbles. This offers you speed, holster speed, multi-shot, fire rate, and the augment. Another great utility weapon is the New Core, used as a primer for viral stacks. This isn't for damaging or killing, just utility. Amalgam Barrel Diffusion for the dodge roll speed, Augur Seeker for the Augur set and status duration, fire rate, and other utility mods, and that's it. And if you want to maintain your combo, I use the Naramon Focus School. No need for a useless low Riven disposition weapon like the Zorus. And that is the Undying Evasive Khora, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, that has been it from me. I do hope you've learned and enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to leave a like, share, and subscribe for more Warframe content, streams, and so much more. Do refer to the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.